More than 24 million people around the world have experienced Alpha to explore and share their faith. Alpha Youth is a more contemporary exploration of the Christian faith that is being used by groups all around the world to help young people explore the character and claims of Jesus. I'm joined by Shaila Visser, the National Director of Alpha Canada and the Executive Producer of the Alpha Youth film series. Shaila, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here, Tanner.
Yeah, well, before we get into Alpha and all that is going on, Alpha, I think it's important to mention that you just celebrated 4 years since your miracle healing.
Yeah. God really did a miracle because I was very, very ill. And, you know, I'm back to full health now, but it's been quite a journey. As lots of people know, going through a period of suffering, a period of real searching your soul to see, God, who are you, what are you doing? And to come out on the other side and have a deeper commitment to Christ, to His work, to His kingdom purposes, has been really wonderful for me. Even though at the time it didn't feel wonderful, you can look back and say that was really significant time in my spiritual journey.
You were diagnosed with a life-threatening disease, cryptococcal gouty.
Yes.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. We just call it fungal meningitis.
Fungal meningitis. Yeah. And basically, you get fungal meningitis on your brain, is that correct?
Yeah, you get a fungal ball that grows at the base of your brain. And it's really dangerous, obviously, because your brain is swelling. And it was 5.5 weeks in the hospital before sort of the Lord broke through and said, okay, enough of this, and did something that I would have never anticipated. And I went home that day after I'd had an MRI to say the fungal ball no longer exists. So wow. it was quite a journey, But
tell us about Good Friday. Your pastor came to you and he said, I think we should pray for a miracle today.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people had been praying, friends around the world.
Right.
Certainly my church was so committed and so loving and serving of myself and my husband. And he just came in that day and said, I don't know why I feel led to do this, but I'm going to pray right now for healing. I think God may want to heal you. And you know, it was interesting for me because just a year and a half before that, my best friend had died of cancer.
Wow.
And so here I was thinking, you know, we had lost her to cancer. Christian woman, many people praying for a miracle. She didn't get the miracle we wanted. She, of course, was completely healed, but not in the way we wanted or anticipated. And then here I am thinking, well, my pastor wants to pray for me for healing. Okay, well, why not? Let's give it a shot. Sure. But let's see what happens. Holding this in the back of my heart and mind that this didn't happen for her. And so when I went for the MRI the following Tuesday after Easter weekend 4 years ago, the doctor rushed into my room and said, have you had the results from this MRI? I said, no. And he said, you're not going to believe it. It's gone. It's as if it never existed.
Because there was not even a scar.
Not even a scar, and a scar is what they anticipate will be left behind after your meds have worked, and they kind of tell you it's permanently there, don't worry about it, it's gone. But he said, there's not even a scar. That's why he said, it's as if it never existed. And he said, you can go home today.
That is unbelievable.
Literally my husband was like falling into my arms, hugging me with complete joy of this whole horror for him and for us.
Because just 5.5 weeks before this, you're told that 1 in 4 people die from this disease.
Yeah.
And you're completely healed, not even a sign of it. It's amazing.
And people that have had this disease and have gone on, you know, to live after it have had multiple really damaging health effects from it. And just to be healthy and good, I mean, I just hold this miracle of healing quite lightly in some ways because I recognize that not everybody gets the healing that they've been praying for. And I don't actually know why I did, but I'm going to do the best I can with the life I've been given to honor God and to help other people meet Him.
Right. Well, I think that this is a good transition into Alpha because you guys are so focused on healing through the power of prayer. And you are the National Director of Alpha Canada. And you're also the Executive Producer on Alpha Youth Film Series.
Yes.
I think we have a clip, so let's take a look at what Alpha Youth Film Series is all about.
Why are you even Batman? Batman doesn't even have a superpower.
That's just it, man. No superpowers. Just a normal guy like me and you doing super things.
So Alpha is 12 sessions designed to engage us in a conversation about some of life's most important questions.
This isn't going to be a lecture where Ben and I do all the talking. Instead, During Alpha, you're going to get a chance to talk in small groups and ask questions if they come up.
We want to provoke you to think about what you believe and how you feel about certain faith issues.
And then they kill it.
Forget about it, man. This adventure is going to take us all over the world. We're going to hear stories and talk about ideas that you will never forget. You have approximately 570,000 hours left to live, and we want to invite you to spend less than 24 of them with us on Alpha.
Well, that looks fun. I want to be a part of it. I just want to travel around with those guys.
Oh, they're a blast. We love working with them.
I bet. So tell me how this kind of came about.
Well, Jason Ballard, who is actually one of the hosts of the Alpha Youth Film Series, came to me a number of years ago, in about end of 2011 and into 2012, and said, we really would love to see Alpha globally film something for youth. And at the time, it hadn't been done because we knew that the shelf life of any product for youth is quite short. And it's a lot of money, as you well know, to produce something of high quality for the youth market. And he was just so convinced of it. He brought a group of youth pastors to our office to meet with me, and they were all on the same bandwagon saying, we've got to do this for youth. It's so important. And they really convinced me. Obviously prayed. Our board was really interested in it. We did some research across the country to say who's interested in this type of product. And so
did you get a lot of interest back?
Yeah, in Canada in particular, we got lots of interest because that's where we were networked. And we asked lots, some in the US as well, and we just kept hearing back, please do this. And although it won't have a huge shelf life of years and years and years, it's so important to reach teens with the gospel message. And Alpha is process-oriented. It allows people room to have fun and eat together and chat and have an open discussion.
Tell me a little bit about what it looks like. What does the program or the course look like?
Yeah, well, a typical Alpha course, whether it's for youth or for adults or whoever it might be for, people come together and have some food, so they have a bit of
that's always a plus.
Everybody loves the food part. And then they hear a talk, and in this case with youth in particular, they go through the youth film series and then they discuss. And the discussion is meant to be a facilitated discussion, a host guest model versus a teacher-student. So we really want people to feel like I could say anything. I can come here and I don't believe a word of what I'm hearing, but in this space it's a safe environment for me to discuss my important questions that I have, and that I'm on a journey with other people that are also searching and wondering and questioning. And in the youth film series, we have broken it up. Rather than one talk that's about 30 minutes in length, we've broken them up into 3 segments each week that they do the Alpha Youth. And they have an opportunity to discuss after they've heard about 7 minutes of content. It's fun, it's really lighthearted in places, there's cartoon animations, there's all sorts of things built in it to help discuss a particular topic, whether it's who is Jesus, why did Jesus die, how can I pray, we talk about
just very
faith.
Relevant topics that kind of everybody just has questions about.
Yeah, and in particular, it's designed for teens that wouldn't have any kind of church background, or teens that are new, they're coming to youth group, they're checking it out, they're interested. It's really intended for teens to run with teens. Youth pastors use it, they equip their teens to take it in to their homes with their friends, into schools. And so it's just an opportunity for teens to reach teens, and they love it. The response has been fantastic.
How many youth are you reaching through the youth film series?
It was launched in the fall of 2013 in Canada, and up till now, 60,000 teens in Canada have taken it. But globally, we've only had it in English so far, but 200,000 teens have taken it around the world. That's Alpha, using the Alpha Youth Film Series.
And how many teens have come to Christ through the Alpha Youth Film Series? Do you know?
Well, we know our stats for Canada, and it's about 42% of teens that come on it begin or restore a relationship with Jesus, and which is massive.
Awesome.
And we always say, who are we reaching? When we're talking to our donors who have really got behind this project, funded it so it can be free, so we can give it to youth pastors and youth volunteers and say, this is free.
So it's free, so people can just, how do they go about getting it?
They just go to the website, the alphayouthfilmseries.com. They go and register their course, and they can access it for free. And on that website, you can see an episode, and you can check it out and say, hey, would this work for my youth group, or my teens that I know, or my kids that come to my house, you know, because I have a teen. And so lots of people are just using it in all sorts of different places, whether it's a fast food restaurant and they're doing it with their friends, a pizza joint, that sort of thing.
Cool.
Or in a school
so
where the
it's
teen
not
brings
intimidating. It's not going in necessarily having to be at church. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah. And I think that's what's making a massive difference. I mean, there was a story of a church youth group that did it in a community center, and they tripled the number of teens coming. It grew every week because what was happening is their teens that were already coming to youth, whether or not they were followers of Christ, felt confident in it because they were having great fun, the content was so good, the discussion was so interesting, that this youth group grew and grew and grew as the course went on. And the youth pastor is just like, this was the best tool because my teens loved it, so they had confidence to invite a friend.
So if you guys are interested, no matter where you are, you can get the Alpha Youth Film Series. Just check out alphayouthfilmseries.com. Shaila, thank you so much for what you're doing, and everyone at Alpha, we just appreciate you so much.